Welcome for today's class, for today's YouTube video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And for today, we are going to be setting up. I'm going to be showing you how to set up your virtual machine. Yeah, downloading your virtual machine and configuring your Linux ISO in your VirtualBox to use. Now, first of all, you come to your Chrome and you search for virtual machine or VirtualBox download. You search for it that way and you say something like this. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why this is bringing Bing for me. All right. So it's going to pop up on the first page. Then you download it. Click on download here. It takes you somewhere. Yeah, it is where you find it. Now, when you get here, you will see VirtualBox platform packages. If you are using Mac OS or Mac OS Apple Silicon or Linux distribution, you click on any of these to download. But as for me, we're using Windows, and this is what I'm going to click it on. You click on Windows, and it starts installing right here, and you can have it just 168 MB. And after the installation, I'm going to be canceling this. Cancel this because I already have it. Now, after that installation, you click on it and it shows install. From there, let me just continue instead then. To click back on it so I can show the real example of how it really looks like. And just for the record, in case you are installing it and it's telling you can't install or it's telling you needs Microsoft distribution or stuff, that's for your virtual machine. If it's bringing that kind of error, then you come back here and you search on Microsoft 2019 C++ download, probably 2019 or 2020, any one of your choice. Just make sure you have it. This thing mostly come pre-installed with major system, but in case you don't have it, you just click on it and you come somewhere like this place, click on there, and yes, then when you get here, you scroll down to where you find something like this, the architecture. If your system architecture is ARM64, this is a link for download. If it's 86 bits, if it's 64 bits, you download it and you set it up. So in that way, your VirtualBox will keep on running. Now that you've installed your VirtualBox and set it up, after you finish setting up your VirtualBox, you'll be having something like this. Yes, if you are using one of the latest VirtualBox, this is how the interface will look like. But just in case it's different, it doesn't really matter. So this is how your interface will look like. And for you to install, alright, that's the VirtualBox. Then the next thing you have to do is install the virtual and the ISO, the Kali ISO file. So you click on Kali ISO. Kali ISO, that's about a couple of gigs, about 4 point something gig, 4.3 or 4.8 gig. You wait for it. Alright, now you see get Kali, just the first one, you click on it. When you get here, you are going to scroll down. Yeah, to this port. Yes, exactly. Now this first one is what you're going to be downloading. That's the recommended one you need to download, and it's 4.2 gig. Don't download this, you might need extra installing later. And if you want to install everything all at once, I mean just want to, if your system can take it, then no problem. This is everything, image for air gap network. So this is for everything you might need, everything together, but this is the best to install, and it's mostly on offline installation. So you click on it and you can see it start installing here. Now once it has been installed, there's something you should actually do. You see, when you come here and you click on new to add it, when you click on it to add it, you see it has already given you a name. You should give the folder it is in, that is VirtualBox VMS. So what you do is you come to your Explorer, your file explorer here. You go to downloads where your where your ISO is, and as for me, I've moved mine to the documents. Alright, this is it. This is my Kali ISO I downloaded. So I create a folder in the documents and I give it this name, VirtualBox VMS, in this right exact format. This is how it should be. Then you place it either in your documents, on your downloads, on your desktop, wherever you put it, wherever you will see fit. Then you come back here and you give your Kali a name, you just say Kali, anything. Then the VM folder, that is the folder you save it. Then you click on order. You'll be seeing order and none. You click on order, then you come to where you saved the folder. Then you click on it and you say select folder. Now it has found it, and you click on ISO image. You click on order, then you will see it because already in the document you see VirtualBox and you able to click it. If it's not saved in that direct format of name, you might not be able to install it properly. Then you click on distribution you want to take, either Linux or Ubuntu, but for this I'll be using Linux all through. So Debian and guest OS installation, this and that, not really matter. Okay, for the base memory here, you can just increase it a bit. In case yours is not bringing anything like this, don't worry, just calm down. We're going to be going through all that. So now you have it, you are going to be having it like this. You're going to be having it like this. Then you see you can click on, I have two. So the one that we're installing, you click on it, you click on settings. When you click on settings, you see all this. Now you come to identity, you give it the name, the checks. Now basically it's on expert mode, but let me take it to basic mode. Now on the basic mode, you can see, you can just scroll down. The video memory should be 128 MB. The number of virtual monitors, as for mine, it's gone down. In case it's not bringing any green part, don't give it any. But if it's bringing any green part, you can take it to the range of level of green it's showing you, and you come to your storage here, you leave it. You come to your network. For the attached network, you can either leave it at bridge adapter or NAT adapter. Either of the two is fine. When you come to expert mode, you can see adapter 1, you can take it to bridge adapter. Adapter 2, you can enable it and also take that to bridge adapter, then you can unenable it later if you wish to. The Prometheus mode, always on deny, by default you leave it alone. You scroll down, you go down, you go down, then let's check the network. Okay, we're done with the network. Okay, right, the display, all right, it's already 128 MB. The general features, you see features, shared clipboard, you change it to bidirectional, so that you'll be able to copy from the virtual machine and your Windows, be able to copy and paste from each side. Now that's it. Now that we are all set, you click on start and your system will start running it immediately. Now in case you start your Linux and it's giving some kind of errors that it can't run for some reason, probably your Windows is not on hyperversion mode, there's another option you can go through. You come to your search bar in the Windows, you search for um, the, hold on, okay, in case you have that kind of error where the virtual machine is not running, where the ISO Linux is actually not running, to set your stuff to hyperversion mode, you come to the search bar and type hyperversion mode. Alright, yes, you come here and search for control panel. I almost forgot the name. Control panel. Now when you go to the control panel, you come to programs here, then you come here, turn off Windows features or on and off Windows feature. You click on there and you see your Windows features. Now I see your Windows features here. You'll see some, you scroll, you see the Hyper-V. You can leave that or enable it if you want to. then you see mine is actually running without setting it to hyper version mode. So this might not be the problem, and this might be the problem. So in case you just check this, you check this, you check it. So I'm on checking it because my laptop is working without it. You check it and you click OK, and it asks for restart. After you restart, then you are all up. Your virtual machine will actually be up and running from that aspect. And just in case you set up yours and it's still giving you issues, just say it in the comment section. I will find a way to give you a video on how to set it through the BIOS. That will be used shutting down your system. Thank you.